So everybody is up in arms making a comment about Zelenskyy being deemed the man of the year by Time magazine. And they've been asking, like, who do you think would be a better candidate for man of the year? And I have a few people who I think would probably be better, but personally, I feel like them choosing Zelenskyy was obvious, I guess, for the par of the course of this year. But it really speaks to the disconnection between the average person and, I guess, media mixed with politicians. There's a clear divide between that, because I think that on both sides, whether Democrat or Republican or people in the middle, liberal, conservative, I think on both sides there are people who are not supporting the money and aid and support that is being sent over there at a time when America is going through its own turmoil, widespread, basically nationwide. So it begs the question of why they would continually move in a direction that is not benefiting the American people directly. Or let's do it in a conversational method. If you can comment down below if you believe that there is a way that America is particularly benefiting from the support that we've offered to Ukraine, either through NATO or through them directly as a country. Let me know, because with NATO, that was pretty much organized to defend, Europe, Western Europe, and we are partnered with them because of our interests and relationships with those European nations. It's just easier to get it with the package deal. But it's not really because we need defense of what we have going on there. I mean, of course, it's nice to play nice with people on the planet, It's not like you don't want the whole world to be your enemy. But are we really getting our money's worth as a nation from the relationship that we built, or our obligations to NATO through our obligations to Ukraine through NATO? I don't know what I just said. But I say all that to say that, Ukraine is not a part of NATO, so we're only obligated by the relationships that we share through NATO. So, well, at least that's what they want us to believe. But there's the other side to it, the speculative quid pro quo that's being delivered right now based off of factual evidence of Joe Biden's foreign economic and political interests in Ukraine specifically, between the dealings with his son, as well as things that he's personally established. The only other person I would have expected to become man of the year more would be maybe Sam Bankman-Fried. That's just a joke. I say all that to say that I feel like the Time magazine man of the year, to Zelenskyy is kind of just like a slap in the face to maybe not even the common man, but the political opponents of people like Biden and Zelenskyy, kind of just like laughing and saying, hey, our team is up. Because I believe that that's the way the world is divided. And it's really not even team as hard to find as that word sounds. It's really more individuals acting off of their own political and economic interests, and wherever they can link up with somebody to strengthen, a certain deal or a certain shtick that they got going on, that then they work in that way. And as soon as something other overlaps for another political interest, they weigh pragmatically which one makes more sense for them to continue on with and then move accordingly. And we see that a lot with the way that people move talking about the topics that they believe in on the left, particularly, I've noticed, but I have seen some conservatives do it as well. One example that comes to mind is the whole conversation about trans ideology and how the goalpost moves and things like that. When, they say that you can't tell somebody that they don't look trans and things like that, but as soon as the, non-binary gentleman shot up the, club there in, man, I don't even remember where that was. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot going on. But, when Oklahoma, goodness gracious, when the shooting happened at the LGBTQ club here recently, the reporters tried to say that, we know that this person isn't, no, not the reporter, the person who's being interviewed tried to say that, we know that this person is not non-binary because of the look. They look like a man. They can't appear as a woman. Well, that's obviously hypocritical to the things that they've said in the past. And there are other examples, but I'm saying that this is becoming a new form of just being where people, and there have been stories of throwing past relationships and obligations into the sea of forgetfulness so that you can move forward with more pragmatic, present time oriented goals. But the rapidity of how it happens, I mean, whether it be through relationships like friendships and things, how quickly people are to cut somebody off in relationships or in friendships. These kind of things all blends together. And I kind of got off topic a little bit there from the original Man of the Year statement. But I say all that to say that we can't continue to allow something like Ukraine be politicized. We know that this is wholly bad for people in the United States of America because we're not benefiting from it. And a lot of people, not all of them, some people have personal interests, like some people are Ukrainian, have family there, whatever, and stuff like that. And of course, that's understandable why you would have personal ties to them and want them to do well. But for the average American citizen who doesn't have ties to Ukraine like that, it's not in our interest to continue to do this on either side. So there are a lot of people who are performatively agreeing with or supporting this, conflict here and their independence blindly because they feel like that's what they're seeing people around them do who believe similar beliefs. So it falls in line with their set of beliefs that they're supposed to adhere to. And that is something that I would like to see less of in the coming years. Hopefully, a lot of the things that have been happening over this year have been helping to break people out of echo chambers somewhat. And I would like to see that continue. So, yeah.